Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Thank you for returning. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Now, today we are going to be going through the formatting of sales value in Proper. So sometimes you may want to format the Excel's predefined format. So most times when you have gotten your data set, the predefined format will be in the general form, and maybe what you have is number or percentages or fractions, and you may have to format this. So this is what we're going to be looking at today. So the general, which is the first sheet that we have here opened in our workbook, is normally containing default formats of Excel, and it applies to both numbers, text, exponentials, and so on, as we can see here. So the small numbers, the small whole number here also is carrying this general. Large number like the exponential, you can see the real number here, but for the fact that it's in general, it's going to convert it to exponential. That's display it to the exponential form, and our decimals and so on. It's going to display the decimals as they are, the negative as they are, and even the text that we have in numbers, still going to display them that way. But sometimes when we want to make calculations, and those calculations are supposed to be maybe in decimals or in fractions, we may have to now convert to the various formats that we need them to be in, so that we do not have any errors due to precision or accuracy, so that we always have what we want. So when we come to this number sheet, currently they are being formatted in general. All these are in general, and if we try to sum, let me delete this. If we try to sum this, this is the value we have. So we can see that it's neglected the decimals that we have here. Now let's try converting to numbers. But now let me change this to general and copy this. So here, let's convert to numbers and see if we can have a difference. For the sake of our demonstration, since we do not have any decimal here, let's still ensure we do not have, so that we don't say it's the reason why we're having a different value. So let's sum this just the same way we did with the other. So if we sum it, you will see the difference now. So you can see it returned it with our decimals. So this may look as if it's just a minor stuff, but when we want to be accurate and ensure precision, we may have to consider all this. Then let's go to our currency. So currency here, we have everything here in general, just as it normally comes in default. So we want to convert it to currency so that we see how it will be displayed, especially when we are making calculations that involve us using money. So we just come down to currency and we click on currency, and you can see we have $sign in front of it. You can always adjust the decimals as you want. Okay, and if you do not want this currency specifically, but that will be in our next discussion, you can still come to this more and then come to the currency here and see if you can change it to the currency of a different country, depending on the country that you're in. So for Nigeria, you can change it to Naira and so on. Now, for accounting, it's almost the same as the currency. The minor difference is the way it is displayed. If you look at our currency here, the dollar is closer to the numbers, but when we come to the accounting, it will be farther from the numbers, as well as the way numbers are normally formatted. If we have negative numbers for accounting, it's displayed as dash, and when you have, if you have a zero, I mean, is displayed here. Let's go to accounting. So a zero is displayed as dash, but a zero uh in currency is not displayed as dash. Let's change a zero to currency. So it's displayed as a zero, but in accounting, it is displayed as a dash. We can also try a negative number. If we have 24, for example, here, and we convert 24 to accounting, you can see it has it in bracket, but it's different also when you do it for currency, minus 24, as we can see. So these are the major differences we have between the currency and the accounting. Then coming to our date and time, here, this is how they are being displayed in the general format, and we want to display them in the date format. So the first that we have here is to display in date only. So we just come down here and decide on whether we want short date, which gives us this, or long date, depending on the one that we want. So this gives us just the date only. And for time only, we can just click on this. Normally, if we check the date, you can see what date it is, but we want just for time. So we can just come to time and click on time. So it displays only time for us. Then for our date and time, when you click on this, you search for date and time from here. You can see that we are unable to find date and time here. So we come to more, number, format, then click on date, and then look for date and time from this option. So when you come down here, you can see where date and time have been displayed. So you choose the format that you want, whether you want it with PM or not. So I will want mine with PM, and then I click on it. So you can see here it's been displayed with date and time. Then let's come to our percentages. So percentages, when displayed in general form, are displayed in decimals, but this may not be the way we want them displayed. Maybe we're presenting our data. In that case, we want to ensure that we display them just the way percentages are displayed. So we just highlight this, we select this, and then click on our number format and select percentages. So it changes instantly. You can always adjust the number of decimals as you want. Now the next is fractions. So fractions are also being displayed by default in decimals. That's when we are having them in general. So in order to have these displayed in fractions, we just select this, and then we click on these are number formats, and then go down, select fractions, and we have in fraction. Next that we want to look at is our scientific format. So here you can see that we have so many numbers, okay, behind this, which is an exponential number and is much, but we want it to be displayed in exponential, same as this. So to do that, we just select, come down to, scroll down to scientific here, so that we now change it to scientific, and you can see it is now displaying in an exponential manner. The next is going to our text. So sometimes we have product codes, numbers, phone numbers, and so on. These are not numbers normally, and we will not want to mix up our data, especially when we are using that data for analysis. So everything doesn't get mixed up due to wrong formatting. And so we may have to format this as text. So to format this as text, we just click on this, select, and then come down here and select text. So it changes it to text. So for here, we still have it showing us error. That's because it's expecting it to be stored as number, but it's stored as text. So we just tell it to ignore, and it will to ignore, because we want it normally as text, since what we are displaying is text and not numbers. Then the last that we have here are our specials. So for these specials, they are just like the text too, but in this case we are looking at when we have our zip code, phone numbers, social security numbers. All these depend on the area that we are in, and we do not want to now display this as numbers because they are not numbers. And when we are analyzing multiple data and having these as numbers, we may make big mistakes during the analysis. So as regards to that, we convert them to special. So these specials, we just click, go down, and select special. Okay, special. So for this one, it is zip code. So we may have to do this one by one. So for the first special, it is zip code. So we enter. The second is zip code +4. Okay. And then the third is the phone number. So here it's giving us a special format based on the data we have. So you can see how the phone number is now displayed just like a phone number. And then the SSN will also be displayed in a special manner. That is because the location we are using is the United States. So every country has its own local. So depending on the country as well, it will be different for Nigerians as well as for Ghanaians. All right, so that brings us to the end of this video. This has been a very long one, and I thank you for sticking around to the end. And please like this video so that others can also see the video and be able to use it. And also subscribe to the channel so that the channel can grow. Thank you so much for your time, and do enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.